Now, JP, I want to ask, you mentioned all those singers, but I can imagine for all the named singers that you know now, there's dozens, if not hundreds, who've tried to achieve the same place, but I don't want to say failed, but they kind of don't try anymore. So I want to say in the
Yeah.
middle, I want to ask in the Middle East, what does it take to become a successful musician? What does it take to become like you, J Abu, or those
Mm,
other names you mentioned where people know who they
okay.
are?
Great question. It takes, I think, first and foremost, the ability to compromise, the ability to not be like a whiny little, whatever.
Bitch.
I'm not gonna say it. Yeah,
I'll
and
say
be
it for you,
like,
don't worry.
thank you, and no, and be like, I'm doing this for me. This is my art. This is my music. You're not, bro. You're doing this for people. You're going out. If you want to be an entertainer, if you want to be paid for services, then services are for people. You're there to entertain a crowd. So you find that balance where what you're doing satisfies you and fulfills you in some way, like the way you sing a song or whatever, or the songs you pick, right? But you remember that this is a show. So, and a show is about an audience. It's not about you as a singer. So you have to put that that what they call it is artistic integrity,
Mm.
which it exists. It's a valid concept, but like artistic integrity isn't about playing what you want. You're there, like especially in the beginning, right? Like John Mayer, my idol, my everything. The person who I learn everything from. He did "Your Body Is a Wonderland," and like that's not like that was his breakthrough song. That song gave him the start of his career. And then he did another album, like that was his first album, Room for Squares, had "Your Body Is a Wonderland." His second album, um, uh, was it Heavier Things, was it was slightly heavier things, right? It was
Yeah.
it was a bit more complex, a bit closer to what he wanted. But by that time, he'd reached like pretty much, he'd gotten critical acclaim. And his third album, he was like, well, it's time for me to do whatever the fuck I want. And he made a masterpiece. He made his magnum opus, like everyone considers Continuum by John Mayer a masterpiece. To me, it's my favorite album of all time. It contains like two of my favorite songs of all time. Um, Still, a lot of what I do, like musically, a lot of every little parts of every song I write and every guitar solo I try to play, is inspired by Continuum in many, many, many ways. Continuum is an amazing album.
So it's
So
not
what
about
was the
compromising
question?
your artistic integrity. It's just about kind of finding an artistic equilibrium
Yes,
where you're
very,
still
very well
authentic,
said.
but you're not too much of a panderer.
Yes, exactly. Very, very well said, bro. And I know a lot of people who started with me at those open mics and who I still love dearly as friends, but they just couldn't make that compromise. And so they're working different jobs now. They're working jobs for the most part. Some of them are doing great, some of them not so great. Um, but a lot of people quit, and I didn't quit. And I've had many humiliating moments. Like um I've had like kids throw coins at me, like at a busking gig where we're meant to like pretend to busk because busking's illegal,
So
but we're
you
like meant
felt
to
like
pretend
an
to busk.
Albertan stripper.